to see in your horoscope whether you will be traveling a lot or living even abroad. Well, it's quite easy actually, but you need to know at least your time of birth within 10, 15, 20 minutes the most correctly to be able to check all those techniques. Go to my website, to my birth chart calculator, for which I have a link below, and it will take you, put your place, time, birth of place, it will take you to a table like that. And the first thing I want you to check is that there are 7 planets, 7 visible planets, excluding Rahu or Ketu. Don't look at those, only from the Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, you know, those 7 planets. And I want you to see if you have any of those 7 planets in the following signs: Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. These are the so-called movable signs. In Western astrology, we call them cardinal, but they're signs full of energy, full of, you know, start energy, you know. So such people love to move, they cannot stay too long in one place. And if you have maybe 3, 4 or above planets in those signs, it's already a very strong indication that you might be living abroad at certain periods of your life, traveling much more, not being able to stay at one place even for very long. I have 5 of my 7 planets in those, in Aries and Libra. So basically since the age of 19 I've been traveling, I live abroad, you know. Such people tend to live away or tend to move a lot, tend to have a lot of new starts in their life. This is one way you can see if you'll be traveling or living abroad. Another way is if you have planets in the 3rd sign from the ascendant. The ascendant is the beginning of your horoscope. It's always here. You know, in my chart, it always starts here. It's the eastern horizon. It's the 1st sign in your horoscope. It represents your physical body. And the 3rd sign from it, which is here, if you have planets in the 3rd sign, in this triangle, 1, 2, 3, from the ascendant, say you might have Saturn, or Moon, or Venus, you know, or something, you know. If you have planets here, the 3rd house is the house of travel, is the house of movement, short-term travel, movement. So such people also like to move a lot. The third house is the 12th from the 4th. The 4th house is here, which is family roots, being grounded. And every time and if you count like that, the 3rd house here becomes the 12th from the 4th, and the 12th house is about a loss. So you have like a loss of your roots and a loss of groundedness, of being stuck in one place. So such people, that's why 3rd house is house of travel and movement. So you tend to, if you have any planets here, 1, 2, doesn't matter, you tend to travel more. Or in the 9th house, here, or with the 9th house cusp. It's enough if you have planets in this triangle here, in the 3rd triangle from the ascendant, or if you have planets with the 3rd house cusp, which is indicated by the 3rd Roman numerical in my chart. Sometimes it will be in the same triangle, the 3rd Roman numerical, sometimes it might be here. So if you have planets in the same square or triangle as the 3rd house cusp, again it shows mutability and movement in your life and ability to travel much more. Or if they're in the 9th sign from the ascendant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is this. If you see any planet situated here in that square of my chart, in the 9th sign from the ascendant, then 9th house is long distance travel. It's travel of the mind, but because these people, they have strong desire to experience, to learn, to expand their mind, they often their life tends to take them to traveling abroad, to being in touch with other cultures as well. Or if you have planets with the 9th house cusp, which is indicated by the 9th Roman numerical, it might be here, but sometimes it might be here or here. So if you have here, say, Moon, or the Moon represents places of living as well. So places that you feel comfortable and emotionally comfortable with. So when the Moon is with the 9th house cusp or in the 9th sign from the ascendant, you feel comfortable in foreign cultures and places. You feel comfortable moving about if the move is in the 3rd house. Or if you have planets here in the 7th house, it's another indication of living far away from where you're born, or going to foreign countries. Because if the 1st house is here and now you, the body, the 1st house is you, the physical body here, now where I'm born, the 7th house is opposite, is as far away as possible from you. So far away, these people, 7th house represents foreign countries again. Another house, often I see people with their moon we chose places of living. In the 7th house, they live abroad, or they travel much more. But especially this is more connected to living abroad. Or even if you have 1, 2 planets here, or a few planets in the 7th house, it immediately indicates this person can be living far away, especially if it's the ascendant of the ascendant ruler. So the ascendant of the 1st house, sorry, the ruler of the 1st house, the planet which rules the sign in the 1st house. The 1st house is you, your physical body, and the planet which rules it shows your physical body placed in a foreign country, and also it shows you physically being present in a foreign country. Or the 12th house. This is the other house. 12th house is the house of far away, distant places again. So these people who have moon there, or a few planets, especially the moon always indicates places of living away, or the ascendant ruler, the ruler of the 1st house in the 12th sign, again it indicates you might be living far away. People who have 1, 2, 3 planets, or a few planets in the 12th house, always feel much more comfortable, and they are much luckier in life once they move to far away places. 12th house shows distant places, even not something like, oh, move to the next town to live. No, these people move like to a totally different culture, you know. And exotic places even, or they might have to work a lot, or the karma is connected somehow with faraway places. So all those, or if you're using Western astrology, seeing planets here in the 7th, in the 9th, in the 3rd, and the 12th, this is an indication. So here, 3rd sign from ascendant, or 3rd house, doesn't matter, 9th house, 9th sign from ascendant, 12. Let me do it like that. This triangle. Okay, if you see planets here or here in the 7th, this indicates that basically, if you have, the more planets you have in those places, the more likely it is for you to travel a lot, to live abroad, to be constantly changing, moving things around, you know, especially with your place of living, to be traveling a lot. And especially if it's coupled with having a few planets in cardinal signs, Aries, Capricorn, Libra, the more of those factors you have, the more likely it is for you to travel there. For instance, I have, out of 7 planets, 6 out of my 7 planets are in those cardinal signs, and I have all my planets in the 3rd, 9th sign, and in the 7th. So basically, for me, I left when I was 18, and I'm traveling every week, every month. I go to a different country. Not that I want it, not that I'm very rich. It's just life puts you in such a circumstance. So the more you have of those, the more you're likely to travel, to live abroad. Thank you.